me and somebody, some man, I don't know who it was, we were on our way to church. And in my dream, it was like somebody, North Carolina, going over to Madison County from Yancey County. It's a pretty long hill, and you go down, kind of down the side of the mountain. Anyway, I was going down through there, and I thought there was some woman told us we could use this building for a church, our church is. So that's where we're on our way to go there, go to this place for church. So going down the mountain there, I thought there was a backhoe over on the left side, they were digging, whatever. We got on down to the bottom of the mountain there. The building had been, I thought there was nothing left of it. So it was just level ground, it was dirt. Maybe it's the foundation, I think the foundation. The whole building was gone. And I thought, next I was talking to this woman, kind of walked in, thought we said we could have church here. Now she just changed the subject. She said, I just stopped up my sewer. Didn't want to talk about it, just changed the subject. Anyway, from there, it was on our way back home. We were going back up the mountain anyway. There's a vehicle being pulled backwards up the mountain by another vehicle, and I thought there's another vehicle following it. I was trying to get around. I thought they blocked me every time I was trying to get around. But anyway, there's something. I heard a clang, a bump, or bang, or whatever, and I thought, I wondered if something fell off of that car they were dragging, or if it fell off of my car. And it ran with me then. I started to stop and see if I could find whatever it was that fell off. That's what she said. Don't fool that. Let's go on. Fool that. They weren't fooling with it. Let's go on. I woke up. I thought it was mine. Just something on this order. We ain't gonna have church with it now. We ain't gonna have church with it. I don't know, that just thought. Trying to figure out what that means. Don't know all about it. I know, I feel like it's something about it. Let's read this scripture in Isaiah chapter 35. Read a little bit. Chapter 44. Chapter 35, verse 1, it says, the wilderness and solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly, and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God. Sound like a promise to me. Isaiah 44, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. my spirit upon thy seed and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses. One shall say, I am the Lord, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and shall name himself by the name of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last. Beside me, there's no God. That very well sums it up, didn't it? I'm the first, I'm the last. Beside me, there's no God. So I was thinking about it. Pray about it. Spoke Thursday night. God has given you a gift. He's given you a gift. And it's up to you to decide if you're going to use it or not. Some of us spending away a good while. I don't remember exactly when Sister Cora got saved, when too long after I got saved, I don't think. Been away about 50, a little over 3 years. And God's taught me some things. He reminds me of where He brought me from. Sister Carol, standing right there, had the place on the neck. Bleed. Not every day, every time I shave, it wouldn't heal up. I never pushed a prayer about it. Sure, we done dismissed. Sister Carol came up, she laid her hand on me and prayed for me right there. And I believed, I felt the Spirit of the Lord, and I believed God. He took care of it. Now, I still got a little sore spot. It reminds me of what it was. I was thinking about that this morning. Lord wants to use Sister Carol. He used her to help me. There have been people that we know that's had throat cancer, had operations. I don't know what it was, but it made me think of cancer. Kept running, bleeding. I kind of thought that's probably what it was. I don't know. That's what I thought. But I could be where I couldn't talk this morning. If she had obeyed the Lord, I believe. Could be in the grave. It's been a while. It's been long. We started church here in '99. It wasn't too long after we got in this church. I remember, right? So it's been a while. So if you use your gift, it'd be like this spring of water springing into this fountain. Just the call of the Lord has blessed her and used her. God used us in deep ways together. Brother Cecil, somebody remember he'd had the wreck. He couldn't function on. He was here in camp meeting. And the phone would ring and he'd answer and he'd say, I'll let you know. Here's Betty. Let's talk to her. He couldn't really carry on a conversation on the phone. I felt like I was Sister Cora to get Cecil by the hand here on one side, and I got on the other side. It didn't seem like it. He felt, in fact, I lined up Sister Cora, the Lord poured out on her, and He sure poured out on me. Brother Cecil testified, he said, from that day on, he said, I thank the Father. God's given us gifts. Sister Sherry went down to I still working out on them. I wasn't running, Brother Vernon. They want to run, I said, we'll go take a walk. Then I come back and go to bed. I was so weak. We just had a little service there in Genesis. Mary thought I had sharing on me. Just took water, a water bottle, poured some water out of the Lord. The Lord healed me. I was good to go. I came on back and others got sick, you know, and COVID and yes. I went and got tested. They said I had the antibodies or whatever, and I was out of work for 2 weeks. I was good to go. I got a lot of work done during 2 weeks I was off. Lord healed me. Everyone's got to give a gift. We'll use it. It's amazing what God will do. I don't know what all God's got in mind, but I know it's something different. God's fixing to move on somebody. If I ain't know, but God's helping. I ain't made it myself, I made it with prayers and helping God's people. But you got to take a hold. You got to take a hold. God can move in a wonderful way. And if you won't take a hold, you just go on by. There was a dear sister came here 3 or 4 years ago now. I can't remember how long. Time flies. It's like I lose track of it. The Lord never come to Missouri. She said she would at the risk of her life. I believe it's the way it was. She came. God did some miracles here. I saw him say. But you got to get willing. I've got to get willing. I've got to be willing. We've got to be willing. Man said years ago, I don't know, it's been a long time ago, Coffee Ridge, she stood in the middle of the floor. I quoted a lot because it was deep. And it's still true. She stood there, the tears rolling, and she said, whatever comes, and whatever goes. That's a big word. You said, what that mean? Well, it meant she meant to hold on to the Lord, whatever comes, and whatever goes. That's what it was about, wasn't it? She wouldn't have said, whatever comes, whatever goes. It was about, I ain't follow. I ain't follow Jesus. So we can take a hold of what God gives. We can fulfill the scripture. Wilderness. You know what it wasn't talking about like what we think about the wilderness, you know, the mountains of North Carolina. That ain't what it's talking about. It's talking about the desert. You've seen pictures of the Sahara Desert. It's a dry, barren land. Ain't much there. Sandpipes. But he said the wilderness and the solitary place, that place that nobody wants to go to, shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom. That's the Lord. Now, roses don't grow in the desert. It's because there's no water there, and the reason it's a desert. If it rains, the desert just blooms. There's flowers that grow. They'll get rain, and they'll spring up almost overnight. I think, if I remember right, they'll spring up overnight. They bloom good. They don't have one. They dry right back up. But this is a promise that if we will obey the Lord, He will take what looks like an impossibility that can't be done. Billy's song said it looked like a barren where nothing's ever grown. He makes something amazing grow there. It shall blossom abundantly. and rejoice, even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it. You know what Lebanon is about, right? The great cedar. Remember when Solomon was going to build the temple of the Lord? He sent over to the king of Lebanon. He said, we need some trees. We need some cedars. Lebanon. We ain't got nothing like that over here. And they floated him over a river. He said, cedar trees don't grow in the desert. So something's going to have to change for that desert to grow big old cedar trees. Big enough to make logs out of. The excellency of Carmel and Sharon, you know, obviously Sharon was a beautiful place. The Rose of Sharon, you know, we've read about that. Amen. And they shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God. We look forward to what God's got in store. Over here it said, the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant. Yes, you're a new man chosen. That's the point. God has chosen a few, you know, we're a small number. For whatever reason, the grace and mercy and goodness of God, He let us experience the glory that a lot of people just don't know about. It's just true. I talk to people. I work with people. They go to some of them, go to church. They go down and have the priest pray for them, or go, you know, and sing, whatever. Come back right back, and just curse and talk ugly talk. Use ugly words. Make remarks. Remarks to the women. To the men. Not the people. You don't go for it. There's something wrong with that picture. Something wrong with it. They talk about your beer, drinking your beer. Something hasn't changed. Something hasn't changed. Somehow God in His amazing grace looked down from heaven and He's touched hearts and minds and lives. Right here in this building, this moment. You're here. I love Jacob. I'll tell you what. Jacob's brother, his twin brother, Esau, was the firstborn. He had the firstborn blessing. He had the promise. The Bible said when he would have inherited the blessing. Did you hear that? When he would have inherited the blessing. It was his. It was his. And why didn't he inherit the blessing? Well, he didn't count very much. He didn't count very much. Until he lost it. Until he lost it. And then he wept and cried and carried on. But it's too late. And the Bible called him a fornicator. So there's more ways to commit fornication than just sexual loose. You can cast something precious aside, count it as nothing. And God called it fornication in heart. There are people committing spiritual fornication because they felt touch of God. They felt the touch of heaven. And then they treat it as a light thing. Just give me a little bit of stew. Give me some vegetable stew. You can have this birthright. The world, take a look. Take a look. Eve was walking along on this tree. She got in sight of this tree that God said, don't touch it, don't eat it. Okay, that's good enough. You don't need no any more than that. The why and all that. He said, you'll die. I just let you know. Leave it alone. But she walked by and that serpent called and he said, Eve, how you done this morning? Anybody know that the devil tries to show up, get your attention, get you looking in the wrong direction? What did you guys do? He tries it on me, tries it on you, I'm pretty sure. And I tell you, you take that stuff back with you where you came from. I know what they've done. But she looked, and the fruit looked good. I even mind, and it wasn't about the fruit, folks. It wasn't about the fruit. People call it apple or whatever, I don't know what it was, but that's just not it. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It wasn't about the fruit. It's about obedience. See, when she started acting, she rebelled in her mind. That's what happened. That's what the problem was. The fruit was just there to see if she would obey. It is God said, I'm going to give you everything that's good, everything beautiful to look at, everything good to eat. I just ask you to leave that alone. And you can have all this. But she focused on that instead of all this. And the devil, is that not what he does? Focus on one thing that he promises will be good, so you can lose all this. That's what he does. That's his plan. You just need this. Oh, this is also important. This is also important. This is good. This looks good. Don't look good. Maybe it had a rose you covered to it. Opposite. Look good. But he just trying to get you focused on that one thing. God said, whatever it is, really doesn't matter. You don't have to murder to go to hell. You don't have to kill people. You don't even have to get drunk. You don't have. All you have to do is in your heart, just turn away from God. Just refuse to surrender to Him. Just refuse to submit to Him. That's all it takes. You can live a good moral life. You can be honest, not tell no lies. Pay your debts. Go to work every day. Come home. And just not serve the Lord. Just not surrender your heart to Jesus. You be lost. But the devil uses things sometimes, different people, different things. I had an awful temper. The Lord said, submit that thing. He turned it around. He took stuff out of me. But I didn't try to get out. But He's made it abundantly clear. Abundantly clear. I can't keep it out. I'll have to keep Him in. And He'll keep it in. I can't keep the wrong if I don't keep the right in here. I will, no doubt, go wrong if I don't keep the right in here. And He gives the opportunity to obey Him. And sometimes the old enemy fights tooth and nail. He fights tooth and nail. gonna think? How's that gonna turn out? What's that gonna look like? What people gonna say? People at work, people you work with, people you know, friends, family. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna say? Well, how's this gonna work? You're gonna lose. I know, I've been down the road a time or two. And when you get it fixed, Lord, whatever comes, whatever goes, I know that He. I'm trying to impress nobody, but I can't lose this. I can't stand alone. I've been preaching a long time. You know, it don't seem like that long, but I get a fact, but it's been about 50 years. And he still has to do it. I don't know how to do it. I still don't know how to do it. I don't know what lies ahead. I just know if you use the gifts God has given you, and I'll use the gifts God has given me, God's on the move. He's going to do something. You can go with him, or you get left behind. I can go with him, or I get left behind. There's something going down, and something's going to stand. He said he's going to shake some things. Scripture said. He said, one more time, I'm going to shake this thing. So that the things that can't be shaken might remain. That ain't me. It's got to be him. See, he laid the foundation. He's the cornerstone. I build on him. I follow after love, joy, peace, long-suffering, and gentleness, and good deeds, and faith, and meekness, which is surrender to God, and self-control. I'll stand. There's no doubt about it. It's a done deal. It's as good as good. You will stand. Philippians 4:8 gives you some things to think about. Whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are virtue and of good report. The devil tries to get you thinking on things that ain't too good, though. I mean, that's too good. It's true. You know it's true. Do you think about your lawsuits? It's a bad thing. You can go back and think about somebody mistreated you years ago. You can carry that foolish thing around till it'll eat you up, pull you down. You don't have any strength left. But it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Turn that thing loose, bury that thing. The Bible said to lay aside every blood. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Well, I don't lie, but I don't steal. I don't drink, but I drink. I don't do drugs, but I do drugs. But you got to surrender. I got to surrender. This is a daily thing. It's about walking with God. Enoch walked with God. He walked with God. And he had a testimony that pleased God. You see, this is not a one-shot deal. I felt the Lord deep. I go back. There's a lot of times. But I got to have something today. I got to trust in today. I got to believe in today. Even when I don't feel great, when I don't feel glory, when I don't feel anything great and glorious and deep. Amen. I got to hang on. Trust on. Believe on. Because you'll be back. But I got to be tested. And you got to be tested. to see if this is really what you want. Does it really mean this to you? Is it really your serious stuff? Or is there other stuff that's more serious to you, more important to you? Is it something that you just kind of, well, if it works out all right, if you don't, all right. If it happens all right, if it don't happen all right. You know, I want to be like Moses. God said, Moses, he said, man, these people are stiff-necked, uncircumcised in heart. He said, I'm going to tell you what, you just go on, take them on. Moses said, I'll tell you what, God, if you ain't going with us, I ain't going. He said, there's one way we can go. If you go, we'll go. If you don't, I'm done. It's a test with him. Are you willing to go without him? Well, I've been my helper. I ain't willing to go without him. He give me glory down his soul. He didn't know. I can't afford to lose it. People think whatever they want. I don't like the way you preach. I like the way so-and-so preach. It's up to you, man. That's between you and God. Whatever it may be. I don't like the way you sing. I like the way so-and-so sings. That's between you and God. That's up to you. But I got to do what he told me to do. I got to use the gift he gave me. It's up to you if you want to use the gift he gives you. I want to see the desert blossom as a rose. I want to see that desert bloom. He's the only one to make it happen. So I want to stay with him. In the good times and in the rough times. I remember thinking years ago, as a young Christian, I remember the people talking about all trials are happening. Well, I don't have any trials. Things going good. Things going good. I have no trials, but every once in a while, I know something, nothing to speak of. At least that's the way I felt. I had to pay up my mind to serve the Lord, and he was helping me, and it was good. Keep on living. Keep on living. That's good. Prepare your heart in the good times, in the good days. Things are going well. The Bible said, remember that Creator in the days of being you. Get your heart in tune with God, and you'll be ready when the troubles come. When the troubles come. Today, you've got opportunity to prepare your heart. God's got something good in store. He got something good. The enemy will come along and he'll try to entice you with something. Say, hey, this is what's important. It ain't that. It ain't that. God's giving you promises. You have all this. Leave that alone. You have all this. The doubt, the fear, and all this stuff comes, tries to sidetrack us. The Lord opened doors. If you will listen. Take that step. Sometimes you feel mighty alone. I know what I'm talking about. You have to take it alone. It's good. There have been different times I thought, man, give me what I felt. My heart would be so heavy. I'd be so burdened the Lord's calling and the enemy's to fight. People walk right by and I don't know what I'm thinking. They don't know what I'm thinking. They don't know the fight that's going on inside of me. I was in a fight. I was in a fight. They said, keep fighting. Keep fighting. I want to read this verse 3 again. I will pour water upon him that is thirsty. Thirsty. give you a drink. He wants to pour it. Are you willing for him to pour it? It'll change you. When he pours it, it'll change you. You got to be willing to be changed. You got to be willing for God to do His work, His will, His way. And once you pour the water, somebody wrote a song, said, there ain't no hiding place down here. No hiding